Hi everyone, my name is Pat, from Pat Stares At on Twitch and the Castle Super Beast podcast. I'm glad to have been able to partner with Sega in order to take an early look at Persona 3 Reload, and would like to thank them for both sponsoring this video as well as providing early access to the game itself. Persona 3 Reload is a top-to-bottom remake of the seminal 2006 PS2 game, rebuilt with brand new, modern graphics, as well as including a wealth of brand new quality-of-life features and Persona Team's now signature stylish UI. Despite the fact that the game does have 3 in the title, it is absolutely the perfect place to start with the Persona series. You don't need to have played any other game in the series, the story is entirely self-contained. Not only that, but 3's release in 2006 did represent a dramatic shift in the direction of Persona, and as such is essentially the first game in the quote modern end quote Persona franchise. P3R puts you in the shoes of a high school student transferring to Tatsumi Port Island in Japan, where shortly after your arrival, you discover that you're one of the few people that not only has a mystical power known as Persona, but you're able to perceive a hidden 25th hour of the day, known as the Dark Hour, at which point monsters known as shadows manifest and threaten the city. The long and short of it is that you, as well as several of your classmates, have to spend your nights battling shadows, as well as having to attempt to balance your school life with studying, hanging out with your friends, and chilling in your extracurricular clubs, such as the track team or student council. Persona 3 Reload takes what worked great in the original and improves on it in nearly every way. As you can probably tell from the footage that you've been watching in the background, every aspect of the presentation has been remade from the ground up. Completely redone graphics are complemented by a remixed and remastered soundtrack, with Lotus Juice coming back to record new tracks and even spruce up some of the old ones, most particularly the Iwatodai dorm theme. The game now contains fully voiced social links, and it finally gives the Moon Arcana the emotional weight he always deserved by allowing him to have all the voice acting he needs. Honestly, it would be genuinely difficult for me to go through the entire list of improvements that I've noted in the 10 or so hours that I've played so far, as the entire game feels polished to a mirror shine. But I'm going to try. First up is new graphics. They look great, they run smooth, the interface is as stylish as it's ever been, and everything just feels completely clean. The game has a new cast for the voices, who I'm happy to report do a great job and have a fantastic ability to match the tone and feel of the original performances. In particular, there's a couple that I swear could be the original actor, even though I know they're not. Though I do miss him in his role as Akihiko, it is still pretty fun to be able to find Liam O'Brien hidden away in the game, voicing the cop that sells you weapons.
I've been informed about you two. My job is to maintain peace in this city regardless of the circumstances.
Next up is a pretty small change, but personally it makes a huge difference to me because I'm a crazy completionist. There's a new system in the game that grays out the speech bubbles above NPCs' heads once you've talked to them and exhausted their dialogue for the time period. There's no reason anymore to run around Iwatodai Station or the mall talking to every single person multiple times a week, trying to figure out if they have something new. Now, you run up to them, talk to them, find out what they have to say, their little box will gray out, and then it'll let you know the next time you see them, if that box is no longer gray, that they have something new to say. The tiredness system for Persona 3 is gone. It's been replaced with a new system called the Twilight Fragment. Basically, in the social part of the game, you'll be running around collecting these tiny little blue pieces called Twilight Fragments. These are things that you can either cash in Tartarus in order to get valuable treasure, things that are like much stronger than what you would normally have. So for example, Yukari in my game got a very, very, very powerful bow that was more than twice as strong as anything I could buy at the store. Or what you could do is save 7 of those fragments up and use them to cash in a full party restore in Tartarus. So if you want to try and push through and do the entirety of your current Tartarus floors in a single night, save up some Twilight fragments, cash them in a couple of times, and you'll be able to do the entire thing. The ability to pass your turn from one party member to the next if they hit a weakness is back from Persona 5. It's available immediately as soon as you start the game, and it makes a huge difference, especially in the early game, going through a bunch of the earlier floors in Tartarus, specifically because you don't actually have that many Persona that can hit elemental weaknesses. So the ability to hit Zio and then switch to Yukari or Junpei immediately and finish the entire fight without taking any damage is a huge boon. There's also an Arcana Burst system, which is basically a little addition to Shuffle Time. Instead of just getting the wands or the coins in order to get little bonuses after a battle, you can also select from major Arcana cards every now and then, such as the Fool or the Magician or the Chariot. They give you huge long-term buffs for as long as you stay in Tartarus, such as more magical gems that can cast in battle or better experience for fights. There are new social scenes all over the game, in particular with a focus on the male members of your party, people that you weren't able to actually hang out with that much in the original because they didn't have social links. It makes a big difference. And last but not least is the rewind system. The game has a fairly stringent structure, and the original as well as P3P allowed you to get into some kind of weird spots in which you discovered that you weren't actually strong enough to beat a mandatory boss. The rewind system allows you to basically go into your save file and rewind back to your last free state in order to modify where you're at if you felt that you needed to go to Tartarus, or if you wanted to go back in time and maybe change some of your social stats a little bit more. I've spent about 10 or 15 hours with the game, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. I'm pretty eager to finish making this video so I can just go and get back to it. Persona 3 Reload is available now on Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, Windows PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Steam. Thank you again to Sega for sponsoring this video.
Oh crap, it's this late already? I'm gonna miss the rerun of The Lonely Shogun. I gotta go. Wow, well, about that. I'll leave the rest to you, leader. Let's meet up again. No way.